Good morning. Hi. Last time we have seen the life of Sarah. Today I just want to talk to you about Vayalhel pedukei, meaning the assembly and the accounts of tabernacle. Moses called everybody, or he assembled everybody, or he gathered everybody to tell about how to prepare, or how to do, or how to make the tabernacle. This parasha or this Torah talks about almost from 35, from the chapter 35, Exodus chapter 35 to 50, almost 15 chapters. The details of the tabernacle was given. Mishkan means tabernacle. Shekinah means glory. God's glory resided inside the tabernacle. It is amazing how much detail was put inside in the tabernacle. There are several details, how it should be built, what was the measures, and what all the things should be kept, and also the name of the skilled people, Vayalhel or Vayalhel, was written there in those descriptions. Moses was narrating these things to them. The one thing I want to talk to you about this one, because there are a lot of things which can be spoken about this parasha. The one thing was exciting. When Moses announced to build the tabernacle, trust me or not, he told the people to bring the gold, the silver, and the other things, whatever they have. They poured in the basket. Literally, Moses and his team were were stopping them. Don't bring any more of your offerings. Because the offerings were overflowing, the baskets were overflowing. Moses was telling, do not bring any more, because this is too much for us to carry. Can you believe the modern days of nowadays? We always ask the offerings. All the time, if you see the modern day preachers, they ask you, the offerings to be brought. But on the day when Moses told them to bring, they brought it within the hearts, the full of their hearts. They were pouring inside the baskets. And Moses and his team went to stop these offerings not to be brought in. Paul writes this in his chapter 2 Corinthians 8 to 9. And 8 and 9 talks about the giving. Paul talks to the Macedonian people. Paul writes to the Macedonian people, describing them to give offerings or to give support to the Jewish people in the community in Israel. The poor Jewish people to community in Israel. He was bold enough to tell the Gentile people to bring their offerings to give it to the Israel people. The thing is here, we Gentiles, we are obligated to pay our dues, to pay to the Jewish people, to give to the Jewish people, to give to the poor Jewish people, so that let them get the gospel among them. Why should we pay, or why should we support the Jewish people? You know why? The gospel was given through them to us. In order to proclaim the gospel, first it has to start from Jerusalem. That's what Acts chapter 1:8 says that when the Spirit of God comes to you, you will be powered and you will be, proclaiming the gospel from Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and throughout the end of this world. First city is Jerusalem. Second city is Jerusalem. Third city is Jerusalem. And the fourth one is a one to all over the world. So what I'm trying to say is that it is our obligation. It is our due to support the Jewish people. Vayalhel pedukei talks about all the tabernacle. Paul writes us very, very clear about this one. Very clear. We Gentiles, we need to understand this very clearly. The tabernacle building, the church building is not so easy. We today in the modern days, we just build anything we want. however we want. But are we taught enough to support the Israel nation? Because we support the Israel nation, and Israel nation, elaborates or expands in its messianic community, messianic congregation, and the messianic people go out through the world and to preach the gospel. And Israel is getting preached first, and then all the Jews, when the Jewish people get accepted this gospel, and we see the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's how it should be done. And David also praises all the time, about the giving to the God, because he tells them in First Chronicles chapter 29. If you take and read words from 9 to 17, he praises the God when the people came and gave everything to God. Offering should be coming in order to give it to the other people. It has to come from your underneath, from your heart, not just to see someone to see us that how much we are giving. No, it has to come from your bottom of your heart to give it to other people. That's what love means. Love means giving it away. Love means sending it to people. Love means, give away to people. That's what it is. Love can take pride on one thing. What it is that it can be proud about the giveaway of things. That is the only thing that love can get pride. Nothing else that you can proud of. You are earning so much of money. You feel that you're blessed because you're settled down, or your family has been going through a fantastic thing. It's all you think that it's God's blessing to. No, the God's blessing to you is to give it away. Just give it away. Nothing should be owned from here in this earth. That's what it talks about, God's blessing. We should understand that very clearly, because God gave His only begotten Son, because He loved this world so much. We must understand that love means giving it away. Love means giving it to people. Love means giving it to the needy. Love means attending the needy people. We must understand this very carefully. Please understand, Vayalhel means the tabernacle, the assembly of God. The assembly of God. And He names everything and He gathers everything. Offerings are not that, like we just give it, 1 cent, 2 cents when we go to church. Tithing is very important. Tithing belongs to God. You cannot cheat on your tithing. Tithing belongs to God. No way that you can hide from the tithing. You cannot say that it's an Old Testament view. Tithing belongs to God. Tithing is His, because the world is His and everything else in it is His. So we have to pay the tithings, and we must not be declined from tithing to God. The one thing I would say, when we go to church, we see the message, listen to the message. If the message is nice, if the message we have been really kind of absorbed by the message, then we pay some money. Otherwise, we don't say we pay any money. No, tithing to God is very important. We have to pay the tithing. That is very important. And this was not the only Jewish customs. This is the modern day Christians, duty also. It is a duty. If you fail to tithe, that means you are doing an adultery. It is a sin that if we don't pay the tithe. Regardless of anything. People gave in the Macedonian, regardless of the poor thing, regardless of the afflictions they were going through. Afflictions, they were not enduring the afflictions in the Macedonian. When Paul writes to those people, they were enjoying the afflictions. Afflictions and joy, joy is not the opposite of affliction. Sin is against the joy, but the sinful nature can never be joyful. But the afflictions with joyful, not only the joyful nature, they also were being more generosity, and the poorness were there in the Macedonian hearts and minds. They gave everything to the Israel people. How about we are today? Are we learning something in everyday life? We have to learn that we need to support the Jewish community. We need to get back in line. We are the wild branch. We need to get attached with the olive tree. That's a very important thing. whatever you do, however you do, you may be attracted with your evangelist, you may be attracted with your pastor, with your preacher. I'm telling to you today, the basic thing is we must join the Jewish community. We must join the Jewish people. Along with them, you do the ministry. God will definitely bless you. Vayalhel pedukei, meaning the assembly of the people, the instructions for the building the tabernacle, and also the accounts which are involved in the parasha. So I'll come back with next time with different parasha. Until then, be safe and be blessed. Bye.